everyone, I'm Jiahe. Today we are going to focusing on another official document called What's on the MCAT document. It's an MCAT exam outline, which you can find the PDF document on the AAMC website, and it's a 111 pages document. We are going to go through it together. And today's video gonna focusing on three parts. The first part is about the 4 main skills that AAMC want to test us. The second one is focusing on the 4 areas, including 3 subjects and 1 comprehensive understanding. That is the main focus that AAMC gonna test us on. And let's begin. The first part, I'm going to introduce 4 skills that AAMC want us to grasp, including Skill 1, knowledge of scientific concept and principle. Skill 2, scientific reasoning and problem solving. Skill 3, reasoning about the design and execution of research. Skill 4, data-based and statistical reasoning. These are the 4 skills that will cover all of the exam, and it's on page 4 on the PDF document. And every skill on the PDF, there is specific interpretation and examples for the skills. But today I'm going to, after reading whole PDF document, I'm going to grasp some main point of each skills. Hopefully you can understand better. I would like to group those 4 skills into 2 groups, the first 2 and the last 2. The first 2 skills are mainly focusing on your understanding level of the knowledge or the experiment or the laws and principles that you learn from your courses, including biology, biochemistry, chemistry, organic chemistry, physics, psychology, social science, etc. And then on the exam itself, on the exam situation, you need to first recall those knowledge, and maybe you need to apply on a specific context that the question are given you. So the second group was skill 3 and skill 4. Skill 3 is mainly focusing on the methodology or the setting up of the study. And skill 4 was focusing on the ability to read chart or read tables, figures, and make conclusion. And then I would like to give you a small tips when you're figure out what kind of skills this specific question was focusing on using keywords. You can find each skills in the PDF examples. There shows some very high frequency keywords in the questions, including firstly the skill 1, identify blah 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 term, define blah 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 term, what is the relationship between this term and this term, or the blah blah blah, and then apply and recognizing, recall. And the second skill is focusing on application of the concept. So it's gonna be maybe a very long question, but not be afraid. So it's gonna appear some keywords like reasoning, predicting, explaining, draw a conclusion. And skill 3, because it's focusing on the methodology part of the whole experiment, some keywords like gathering data, variables, hypothesis, research logic, limitation of the study, generalized of the methodology or the results, what is the setting up, what is the bias, what is the ethical approval belongs to these skills. And the last one, it's about reading chart or tables. So in this part, in the question part, in the answer part, you will see different pictures or different tables that shows different thing. And the ability is that you can match the perfect chart or the perfect table to the experiment where the passages was talking about, so that it will easily to figure out. We are going to the second part. It's about 4 areas that AMC wanted us to know. I would like to describe this part into 2 parts. The first one is about 3 subjects that we need to know, and the second part is about a comprehensive understanding part, including different passages that called cars. So that is the most difficult part that a lot of students are stuck with. Yeah. And in the exam, formal exam, you will find that the correct order of the examination is the first stuff you are going to see is the chemical and physical foundation of biological system. The second part will be the most difficult one. It's critical analysis and reasoning skills. The third part is biological and chemical foundation of living system. The fourth is psychological and social and biological foundation of behavior. So it's gonna be this order. And the first one, the second one, and the fourth one will be given 45 question, and you will have 1 hour and 35 minutes to answer. But for the second part, it's gonna be 53 questions in total within 130 minutes to answer the question. So it's 5 minutes less. Okay, before I start, there is a tip. You need to know some basic concept of mathematical formula or concept in the MCAT exam, but it's gonna be very basic formula. I think it's gonna show the information are shown in the PDF document. You can check with yourself, and also you don't need to remember periodic table because it's gonna be shown a small button. You can click the the left and downside. There is a small button for that. You can click, then you can check with the periodic table yourself in the exam. So you don't need to remember that. The first one is Biological and Biochemical Foundation of Living System. It's in page 17. You can find the page and then go through with me as well. And this part, we can see that the major part is biology, which takes up about 65%, and biochemistry counts for 25%, and then general chemistry equals to organic chemistry only takes 5% each. And for the distribution of scientific skills, skill 2 is the most frequent type of question you are gonna see, which takes up 45%, and skill 1 takes up 35%. Skill 4 and skill 3 only takes up 10% each. And in this part, mainly including concept 1 to 3, which I will make separate videos about each concept. And then the second area, it's in page 50. We can find page 50. It's chemical and physical foundation of biological system. And in this part, the most of the knowledge you're gonna see is chemistry, which takes up about 30%, And then it's introductory physics and biochemistry take up 25% each. And then it's organic chemistry, which takes up 15%, and the last one is biology, which takes up 5%. And the distribution of skills, also similarly focusing on the first two skills. Skill 2 takes up 45%, and skill 1 takes up 35%, and then skill 3 and skill 4 takes up 10% each. And this part mainly focusing on concept 4 and concept 5. And then let's go to 75 page 75. The third area is psychological and social biological foundation of behavior. In this part, let's see, mostly gonna focusing on psychology, which takes up 65%. And then it's sociology, which takes up 30%, and then the last one is biology, which takes up 5%. And the distribution of skills, it's similar. Skill 2 takes up 45%, and skill 1 takes up 35%, and then skill 4 and skill 3 focusing on only have 10% each. The concepts are a lot more because it focuses on different types of concept, including concept 6 to 10. And I will make, I'm planning to make different videos focusing on different concepts, and then help us revise for go through the whole guideline. Go through the whole outline of this document. I forgot to say that those 3 areas I'm already mentioned, which will include separate question and question with a whole passage. There are 2 different types of questions in the exam. But the last one I'm going to mention, which is critical analysis and reasoning skills, these part gonna have 9 passages, including each passages including 6 above questions you need to answer, and then this part don't have any extra knowledge you need to know, only testing based on your ability. So that's very hard. You only have 10 minutes, about 10 minutes more or less, to make decisions of whole one passage for 6 questions. You need to balance the time, and then one passages have about 500 to 600 words, which is very large amount of reading. You need to bear that level of reading, then you can keep concentrating on those questions and then answer those questions. In this part, since you're not gonna use any knowledge you know or you learned before, only use the knowledge or the information mentioned in these passages. This content of those passages gonna divide it into 50% of humanities, including literature, physiology and ethics, etc., or 50% of social science, including psychology, society, economics, etc. My suggestion is it's better to know what areas that these passages is focusing on, because the humanity passages will mainly describe conversational or opinionated word of the author, and the social science passages mainly focusing on the factual or scientific point of view of the author. So different point of view, they have different languages, different logic. It's better to know it before. And then you can, this type of passages will influence the effect of or affect the author's tone or stand. it will very helpful to solve the questions later on. And then this part have 3 skills, which might be slightly different from the skills we mentioned before. The first one is foundations of comprehension, which takes up about 30%. And the second one is reasoning within the text, which takes up 30% as well. And then the last one is reasoning beyond the text, which takes up 40% of. And I will describe them one by one. First one is the foundation of comprehension. Let's go to page 104. These skills will challenge you to understanding the basic concepts of the task and inferring meanings or intent from the mediate sentence context. So when you're reading the passage, it's better to just mark the concept or the important sentence in the passages. And then the second one is reasoning within the text. It requests you to integrating distant component of the content of the context to infer the author's messages, intent, purposes, beliefs, position, biases, assumptions, and recognizing and evaluating arguments and their structural elements. So this question, I would like to firstly mark the keywords in the questions, which are the 2 things or several things that I need to find in the passages, and then find them into the passage and link them together and see what are the logics, what are the connections between them. And that maybe is the answer of this kind of question. And the last one is the most easy to find out because it's beyond the text. So in the question, there will be new context that need to be evaluated or need to be implemented into the passage. So there are several things you need to know. First, you need to know it's outside knowledge extraction or input knowledge extraction. And then you need to read the whole passages first to get the basic knowledge of what is the author's opinion and what is this passage is about, and then give a brief introduction about the question itself, what it talked about, what is the new information about, is it challenged the author's opinion or it strengthens the author's opinion. So that is the strategies deal with this kind of problems. Always remember to figure out what types of skills and what types of knowledge it need are request me to know, and then you can do the question. That is the best stuff or the best logic of dealing with this kind of questions. So again, my suggestion for doing this part is that first you take a few minutes to read the passages. You need to mark the term, mark the example, mark the conclusion words of the passage to know what is the author's opinion, what is the passage opinion. And then you need to pay attention to the first paragraph and the last paragraph to find the structure of different paragraphs. What is the topic sentence of this paragraph? And then you can pay attention to the logic. Is the cause and effect logic, or is the chronological logic? What is the point and the counterpoint logic, etc. Notice if there is an but or however, pay attention to that. And also pay attention to the author's tone. For example, the author is sarcastic. It's gonna be propose what is argued in the passages, not the fluent logic. And then that's it. Hopefully you can do it better. Okay, that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching.